Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and to listen to my message, which is really a message from yourself when considered from a deeper, more expanded viewpoint. And please, pass on a big thanks to the very kind and caring person who has shared this with you. I'm sure you're seeing this because a part of you knows this is important for you, and it is the right time to do the right thing and help everyone break free from the invisible chains that bind us. I, like many of you, to some extent enjoy, or at least enjoyed, activities that are considered as accepted norms in our various societies, and have been mostly taken in by the cultural and environmental lies and programming we are all subjected to via the mass media and our families and friends. Most of whom are not to blame, of course, as they have received similar programming themselves. Certainly, there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable for their crimes. I have realised, and I hope many of you have or will too, that many of these accepted norms and systems we live under or with are broken, flawed, and simply not in the best interests of the people and the animals that live on this beautiful planet. We have all been lied to, and are being constantly bombarded with lies and deceptions regarding the necessity for these norms and systems to be maintained, when clearly viewed from a logical and even emotional perspective, they are clearly no longer fit for purpose and are not sustainable. The G.I.S.T movement is here to raise money to bring about a transition to improve or replace these systems. 13, lucky for most, systems have been identified to be targeted. Religion has been deliberately left out, as we need to come together in unity and cooperation for truly effective systems changes to take place. Although I am not personally religious, but rather spiritual, I am happy to collaborate with religious people as long as they are tolerant of others' beliefs. Of these systems, the worst would appear to be the monetary system, as it is the massive disparity between the very rich and the average and very poor that is causing many of the problems we face, such as starvation and a lack of clean drinking water and homelessness. Half of the global wealth of the planet is owned by just 1% of the population. We have unknowingly allowed our countries and our planet to be hijacked by a very clever bunch of greedy and deceptive psychopaths and thieves. This is a totally provable conspiracy, and not just a theory, mainly becoming uncovered now due to the rise in popularity and speed of the internet. Many of the people and institutions where the real power and wealth lies are still hidden to most people, who simply see the show that is put on the big screens and pages of newspapers and magazines. I have only recently discovered these people and institutions myself, mainly thanks to the likes of David Icke and Alex Jones. I don't buy into some of the things they talk about, but they are certainly quite factual regarding the various people, institutions and organisations that are in control of the monetary systems of most of the world. I do feel that Jacques Fresco of the Venus Project had a great many good ideas, and one of them being that we should transition to a resource-based economy, where there would be no need for money at all, and everything would be based on the availability of resources. But I feel that that would require too vast a shift in people's consciousnesses for it to happen soon at a global level. However, I do feel that many people will be able to see how wrong it is that money is created as debt, with never enough being created to allow everybody to have enough to repay such debt. And also, the banks and loan companies getting paid twice for the money they have created entirely out of thin air, while we are working harder and harder for less and less, and automation is replacing so many jobs. The odds are being stacked against us. They are turning us all into virtual slaves. They are price-fixing our most valuable resources: food, water, energy, precious metals. Even money itself is being siphoned away by these high-level crooks who are robbing billions of people of trillions of dollars every year. There is no need for austerity measures. There is actually plenty for everyone to have a fair share of abundance. We just need to overhaul or replace the monetary system and capitalism generally. We have been sold a lie so vast that it oppresses all of humanity, with luck determining rights and one person's fortune depending on another person's oppression. And of course, education and the mainstream media play a huge part in perpetuating this lie by not teaching the things we should all know about regarding how money is actually created, amongst other such systems like the law. As Michael Elner said, "Just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Governments destroy freedom. And major media destroy information. And religions destroy spirituality." I mean, many of these doctors, lawyers, teachers and politicians may well have had the right intentions when they started their professions. But the systems, as they stand, mean their good intentions are not able to be followed properly. Or they are misled or miseducated into causing harm and oppression instead. We have a combination of George Orwell's 1984 and Animal Farm coming ever more rapidly into reality, whilst people's attention is focused on X Factor or sport or which celebrity is dating which other celebrity. That is really frustrating to see, because my children and your children are going to have to grow up in such a world unless we do something about it. And in fact, we are actually living in it now, because so many of our freedoms have already been taken away. To paraphrase the late, great Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream that one day the sons and daughters of former slaves and the sons and daughters of former slave owners of the world will be able to sit down together at the table of unity as equals. I have a dream that one day even mainstream news, television and movies, institutions sweltering with the heat of bias, depravity and discrimination, will be transformed into fountains of truth, beauty and freedom. I have a dream that all our children will one day live in a world where they will not be judged by the colour of their skin, the shape of their body or the intelligence of their minds, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, over in the Middle East, in Israel and Palestine, with their vicious leaders, their lips dripping with the words of apartheid and destruction, will end all the violent atrocities and recriminations. One day, little Israeli boys and little Israeli girls will be able to join hands with little Palestinian boys and little Palestinian girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every country will live in peace and harmony with every other country, and that all religions will live together in tolerance and respect. This is my hope and faith, and it is with this faith we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our world into a beautiful symphony of humanity. With this faith, we will be able to work together, pray together, struggle together, go to jail together, stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And this will be the day that all people will be able to sing, "My world, 'tis of thee, sweet world of liberty I sing. World where my parents died, world where our ancestors died. From every mountainside, let freedom ring." And if the world is going to move forward with a new humanity, these systems of enslavement must be replaced. So let freedom ring from the prodigious Eiffel Tower. Let freedom ring from the great pyramids of Giza. Let freedom ring from the mighty Big Ben. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Himalayas. Not only that, let freedom ring from the hilltop at Calvary. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill in the world, from every mountainside. And when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up the coming of that day when all of humanity can sing, "Free at last, free at last. Thanks to unity, we are free at last." We are the creators, the 99%, and when we come together, we still have around half of the wealth on this planet, and we have the power to create whatever future we want. I'm not asking you to rise up in physical, on-the-streets protests, but I do believe we can achieve a velvet revolution from within by pooling our resources, by getting a free Bitcoin wallet from blockchain.com and spending just $1 to join Do You Have What It Takes to Be a Millionaire in 24 weeks? And getting just 2 other people to do the same. We can create many millionaires and raise huge sums of money for the G.I.S.T movement, which will be used to help bring about this dream. So please join us and be the dream you want to see in the world.